of cause and effect. It's like what goes up must come down. It truly does apply to us, and it's more than just a scientific law. It really is. It's like when you do something bad, something deliberately bad to do, jeopardize things, to hurt people and stuff, do you not think that that law of cause and effect does not apply to you? It's more like a universal law, which really expands way beyond the universe itself. The law of cause and effect cannot be contained within, say, the scientific sphere and not the spiritual sphere. It's like literally what goes up must come down. Good morning, Susan B. Honey. I've been looking through some comments of the video that I did last night, or maybe yesterday evening, where I had words flow in from the spiritual realm. And I replied to probably 3 comments. I really did. And some other ones, but the law of cause and effect popped into my mind. It's true. Now, you can deny it all you want. It's like when you're driving down the road and you see a red light and you're in your car, you are going to put your feet on the brake. And by doing so, you're going to come to a stop at that red light. If you do not, when that light turns green, take your foot off of that brake and then put your foot on the gas pedal, the law of cause and effect is going to apply to you there also. You're not going to go anywhere. You can say this about life itself. Spiritually speaking, if you have come to a stop sign on this road called life, you have put your foot on the brake, you're sitting there, and or make it a red light, and that light turns green and you still got your foot on the brake, you're not going to go nowhere because of the law of cause and effect. You've got to take your foot off the brake and put your foot on the gas pedal in order for you to go somewhere. When you get the green light saying all's good, you can go now. This is the law of cause and effect. You have to have an action coming from you in order to get a reaction to come from you also, in order to make that reaction occur. So that's what I have to say, the law of cause and effect. If you haven't had that in your mind lately, Gina, we don't sit around and dwell about the law of cause and effect. That's purely in the scientific sphere of reality. I think it applies to you on an individual basis. It applies to me on an individual basis also. It does. It's much deeper. It's much deeper, and a lot of really everything is intertwined. It's intertwined. Good morning. You understand. We all understand the law of cause and effect. I could get on here and I could open my mouth and I could deliberately start saying things that are going to go against this community guidelines on this social platform that I have been given to use. I can deliberately take it upon myself, say, no, I know what the community guidelines are. I think I'm going to try to see if I can literally break every single one of those community guidelines in this one video and see what happens. Oh, I know what's going to happen. My YouTube channel will literally get taken down. That would be the effect of what I did. It would. Just because I did it. The law of cause and effect applies to you. It applies to me. What goes up must come down. There's some other ones if you want to put some other things in there that go right along with that would explain that in even more easier terms. You go right ahead, put it down in here. The law of cause and effect. No. Yeah. It's real. It's alive. You want to you really want to do all you can to walk a peaceful walk on this earth. Your time here on earth, you want to do the right thing. You truly do want to do the right thing. When you deliberately go around doing the wrong thing on this road called life, there are going to be things that happen. It is. This is cause and effect. And it's the frequency from you too. It's the frequency that comes from you when you do things. It's the intention behind when you do things too. You're not immune. If you're watching this video, you are not immune to the law of cause and effect. You didn't get a get out of jail free card to go do whatever you want, because there is going to be, while you're on this earth, you may think you can escape it. You really may think you can escape it, but it will come back at you. And if you think of, let's just call it a theory, that you've lived many times on this earth. You are an old soul. You've lived many times, and you want to get it right because you don't want to keep going back and doing something that you know you should get right. Because if you don't get it right, the same law is going to keep following you lifetime after lifetime until you get it right. It's like karma. You're paying off your karmic debt. You're paying off your karmic debt. It's like when you go to jail. You're sentenced. You got so many years you got to serve when you go to jail. And, or say you go to jail for something petty. You go to jail, you serve some time, you get out, you do the same thing, it lends you, it's the cause and effect. You end up right back in jail. You serve some time, you get back out, you do the same thing. Hello, that's the law of cause and effect. Same actions being the same results. You want to really. I'm done talking. I am thinking I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I literally just woke up when I answered a few questions, and that popped into my mind. And so, yeah, right here, the law of cause and effect. Now, granted, there's sometimes that you'll do something good, and there won't be a good result from it, because just because that's the world that we live in. And you may see a lot of that just because. I don't understand. I've been doing good, and then I have all this happen to me. These people turn against me. My whole family turns against me. There's a reason they turned against you, and it probably didn't have anything to do with you. It had everything to do with what was going on the inside of them. That's still the law of cause and effect. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you found yourself in the throes of that, it's still cause and effect. They caused it to happen. You caused it to happen. Somebody caused it to happen. Yeah. It to happen. Solomon, honey, cause of laws and effect. Yeah. Now the word effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, is one word. And the other word is A-F-F-E-C-T. Two types. Two different things. But one is kind of similar. It's like when somebody, if I got cut by a knife, it would affect me. I would A-F-F-E-C-T. It would affect me, and I would feel the pain from it. But the mere thing of that knife cutting me, yeah, it's the mere effect that it's going to cause. You'll be able to see it. Yeah. So you know what? No. Okay, here we are. We're on here now. The law of cause and effect. You are not immune to it. If you are on this earth, you're in the spiritual realm, this physical earth, it does apply to you. You reap what you sow. And you may have to come lifetime after lifetime, according to some theory, to get it right. You may have to pay off some karmic debt, as one would say. They got a lot of karmic debt to pay off. Don't even get near them. They got a lot of karmic debt. You can do things. Your actions can cause a lot of bad things, but you can't undo your actions. You can't undo what you did that caused those actions. They got to play out. They got to play out. But Gina, you're saying miracles don't occur if you say that. Oh, they absolutely do occur. But it's not you who decide whether the miracle occurs or not. And someone said, Gina, how can you say God is whatever? God is love. God is literally the universe. God is the universe. It's the universal force out there. God is an energy, pure energy of love. And some people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to break it down that simple. But it is that simple. It's love. And it's life-changing on the inside of you. It's that force on the inside right there. It's pure, pure energy. People describe it when they have like a near-death experience. They have it over their body. They go to the other side and they felt like this pure, pure, pure love, pure energy. It was unexplainable, something they've never felt in their whole entire physical life, but they felt it. They felt it. So I am going to go. The law of cause and effect is quite real today, and you are not immune for it. You did not get a free pass to be able to go against the law of cause and effect and expect a different result. You didn't. It applies to you. It's not just in the scientific sphere. It is literally applying to this whole thing we call life. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. And I'm going to enjoy my cup of coffee. I hope you can enjoy your cup of coffee. No, I don't play games. And no, playing games is for children. It is. I mean, it's different having a little bit of fun, but there's games that are not games, right? Right. We are aware of the law of cause and effect. We're here to grow spiritually on the inside. We want to one day ascend. Even when this body is done, we want to go to the right place. We do. We don't want to have to come back here and redo it all over again. We want to get it right. You ever notice people in this lifetime, you try to help them out? I've done it before. I have so many times. You try to help people get on their feet. And I literally, God knows my heart. I've tried to help people get on their feet time and time again. And you know what happened? It didn't last because they weren't willing to change. They kept doing the same thing over and over and over. You cannot change people. You cannot help people who don't want help. You cannot be the change that someone else is looking for if they're not going to let that change occur on the inside of them. You cannot help everybody. You can help someone. But if you're like me and you've spent your life, throughout your life, reaching out to others who need help, and it looks good at first, but then it just like, you can have members in your family, you can have friends, you can have acquaintances, you can have total strangers. I did it with the people at the shelter. When I would go volunteer, get those people from the homeless shelter, I would take them out, I'd do things with them. I had this one couple that I did the two as a boy, a man and a woman. Time and time again, I would try to help them out, and I would help them out. I would do things for them, take them places and things like that, and take them to church. They come back, and they straightened up. By people know how to straighten up. They know how to straighten up to get what they want. They can play the game. So they straighten up. They try to get off the drugs. They straighten up, and then they go into church, and then you're doing stuff for them, and you say, okay, their life is progressing. They want to do this. They want to get themselves back on their feet. So you go get them a car. I did. This is what I did. I'm not boasting. There's this homeless couple. They were at the homeless shelter, this guy and girl. They had a good life until they got mixed up with drugs. They did. And they went to this church here in, it was Jeffersonville, Indiana. I can't remember the name of it. And they got involved. They go to the food night at church. You know, when they feed the homeless, they go there, and I was helping out in there. And they wanted to get their life back on track, and they people, you know, was there for them and was encouraging them and trying to help them out, get a job and things like that, so that they wouldn't have to stay in the condition that they were in. And they would just keep coming back and stuff. And I got involved with them too to encourage them, took them out and got them some food at times. I took them to the store, got them some clothes and stuff to get whatever you want. And they liked it. Literally, I thought, oh, wow, they're doing really well. And then, they were looking for a car. So I went out and I got a used car. I did. And I gave it to them because they're going to get their life back on track. They're going to go back to their families and stuff. Then you give them money. Then it happens. They go back to the drugs. Go back to the drugs. They slowly stop coming to the meals that would happen once a week. And you think, where have they been? Well, they've been living it up. They started going back to their old ways. They did. Even paid to put them in this like hotel. It was near the church. Hotel. We don't have enough money to stay there and whatever. Okay, I'll do that. So they take off in their car one time and they cross state lines. And they answer me on the phone, and I'd have a talk with them. And they come back. Well, we didn't have the money to pay up, and they had a job. They were able to get a job. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I will pay up for that. I will. You come back here. They came back. They went to church one time. One time. I even gave them money to have the car put in their name. I did. You go take this. They had the title. They had the title. I gave them the title. I said, all you need to do is go down here and get that car put in your name. They took off again. They went 3 states away. I tracked them. The car that I had got the car that I had got the woman and the woman from was a family. She didn't take her old plates off of there, and it was tracking them across all the toll bridges and stuff. And I couldn't get a hold of them. A month had passed, and she came knocking on my door. She said, I just got a bill in the mail. This is $300 and some odd. I can't pay this. And I knew what it was. It was from the couple that I tried to help. I gave her the money. What else did I do? I called the police. I did. I called the police. Somehow, I finally was able to get in touch with them. And I told them exactly what was going on. If you do not go and get that car registered, this car is going to get taken away from you. It's going to be reported as stolen. That's what I told them. You know what they did? They got the car put in their own name. That's what it took. But I never have seen them before. You can help some people to an extent, but it comes right down to it. If they're not willing to help themselves, then that's it. That's it, you all. It's the law of cause and effect. You can do what you feel led within your spirit to do, but then there comes the time, that's it. I've done all I'm supposed to do. How did I get into that? Well, they popped a well. Obviously, it bothered me. It was another one of those times. I had a lady who was down the road. She had bought this house. She came across an inheritance. She bought this house down the road. It was one of the older houses, and she paid cash. She came from a very well-to-do family, and she got mixed up in drugs. She did. This was probably 10 years ago or something. And she had a really good spirit. She was the first one who ever greeted me with namaste. Namaste. I remember going to her house, and I found like over 100 4 and 5 and 6 leaf clovers in one spot in her yard. She was really in tap with it. She got mixed up with the wrong guy. He was on drugs. He was on drugs. He was nice. His name was Stevie. He's a little out there, but I don't care. I don't care. You're going to be nice. That's great. I love it. I love it. Treat me nice, and I'm going to treat you nice. But then he left. He was a little off balance. He left. Then she went downhill a little bit. Then she found this other guy, or this other guy found her. And he had a degree. I thought, wow, he's a clean-cut man. He's a lot different than this other man. She took some savings. She bought her a fifth wheel. She parked it outside her house. And I saw the lights on in this fifth wheel, and I thought, what is that fifth wheel? And there was a truck. What is that fifth wheel doing there by her house? Why isn't she staying in her house? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't. But one day I went over there and the fifth wheel was gone. The grass was growing up. I even gave a lawnmower for them to cut their grass. The grass was growing up. And then I got a message from her. She sent me a photo. I kid you not. Her name was Misha. And Misha, honey, if you're watching this, I love you. Namaste. She never done nothing wrong to me. She sent me a picture of her fifth wheel. She pulled it all the way to Florida. Somehow she parked it on the beach. Big tidal wave or something came in, and there was her fifth wheel out there in the water, totally damaged. She said, "You're not going to believe this, Gina," because she reached out to me from the messenger. She goes, "This is my fifth wheel." I said, "Well, what happened to the one guy? I thought he was a good guy." She goes, "Oh no, he was not a good guy at all, Gina. She had to go get a job, and this guy just took off on her. He saw a woman who had a house, and he wanted to move up. He did. Convinced her to go there. There was her camper, her fifth wheel setting out there, and she was having to stay with some people she met. I haven't heard from her a long time. I really have not. You, Miss Gina, that's not, it is real. It's real. I have the pictures on my messenger from her. It's the law of cause and effect. And it's hard. I'm just going to tell you, if you're watching this and you've had a drug problem or something like that, you're trying to break a habit, it's hard to break it. It's really, really hard. It takes a determination, a strength stronger than yourself. It literally takes love, the power of God's love, to literally give you the strength that you need. And you've got to be able to, don't dabble back into that kind of stuff. You know that's your weakness. You cannot go back to the things that destroyed your life time and time again. You cannot do it. It's a trap. It's a trap. When you've been freed, when you've been more like got yourself cleaned up, you can't go back when your life's going good and slowly walk back to the mud pit where you got your life all messed up. You can't go back and playing in the mud, because you're probably going to end up a lot worse than you were at the beginning. You can't do things like that. If you want to have a lasting change in your life, it's the law of cause and effect. It's going to come and get you. It's karma. It's like you reap what you sow. A lot of people have been given, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little whatever. A lot of people have been given many chances throughout their lifetimes to straighten themselves up, and you may have helped people time and time again. And it may even be within your own family. It's happened in my family before. They get their life straightened up, they're doing good, and sometimes it can last for quite a while, but then what happens? They find the same people. They find the same people that they knew brought them into this condition. You're going to find what you're looking for. I promise you. What it is that you're looking for in this life, you are going to find it, whether that be good or whether that be bad. Seek and you shall find. That's the universal law of cause and effect. You want to seek a certain type of lifestyle, you're going to find it. You want to seek for loving and kind people, you're going to find it. Beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. That's still, it's the intent inside here. You've got to do things for yourself at times in your life. You really do. You can be there with somebody on this road called life, and you can hold their hand and you can walk with them and they can walk with you, and the frequency will be perfect. You can walk with one another till you reach your journey's end. But some who encounter your road called life, you can walk with them by the hand, but then you know what happens? they start pulling their hand away from yours, and then they start walking down a road, and you can see the road is full of potholes and construction signs and everything, but they just keep going. They keep going and they ignore it. You may be the person yourself that ignores it. You may have been walking with somebody and the walk was good. It was peaceful. Life was going good. But then you decided, oh, I think I'm going to do this on my own. I don't need them. I don't need them. I don't need help. I don't. Even though you came across them and you're the one who pulls your hand away and think, I'm going to walk down this road because at first, here's what these roads called life look like. They're smooth at first. These detours, they are smooth. But once you start walking, you start hitting some, you start stepping into some potholes. You start seeing some great big cracks, great big gigantic cracks. You start seeing danger up ahead, caution, and you keep going. That's your first thing. When you look down on this road called life and you start taking that detour and you start seeing cracks in that road, you start seeing the cracks get bigger and bigger. You start seeing potholes. You start seeing caution sign, road construction. And you start seeing avalanches occur. You start seeing other cars off the side of the road with busted tires, cars that are broke down, hoods on the engines raised up, cars overheating, and you're continuing to walk down that road. Get off that road. Get off that road, turn around, and get back on the road you're supposed to be on. It's not green grass over there. The road is not always smoother over there. It's best. I think this scripture has been coming to my mind. Each person should stay. I don't know how it goes. You should continue in the place that you have been, or something. It's some kind of scripture. You're in a good place in this road called life. You should continue to walk that way. You should continue to walk that way. You should. It could get narrow. It could get very narrow. Just because it's narrow doesn't mean it's not exciting and fun and fulfilling. It doesn't. But some people might feel it is. When you have the straight and narrow path and you're walking it, you're focused. You're focused. You're focused on your destination, whatever that destination may be. And you're not going to waver. You're not going to go here. You're not going to go there. I think I'm going to go over there. No, I think I'm going to go over there, even though I should be going right here. It's like walking down a hallway. Walking down a hallway, and there's all these doors, and they could have all kinds of signs on you. Think, oh, well, I think I'm going to open this door of drugs. Or maybe you'll walk past it. No, been there, done that. I'm not going to open that door. You can see another door, sex. I think I'm going to go in that door, but then they do that. Or you walk past that door. No, that ain't fulfilling me either. And then you look at another door, alcoholism. No, that did not fulfill me. And you keep walking down the hallway. You see more doors, hatred. No, I don't want nothing to do with that. Malice, slander, gossip, all that. You can find it in all these doors. Then you see this one door, love. I think I'm going to walk in that. This door, compassion. Oh, I think I want to see what that is. Peace. Oh, I think I want to look in that door. And all the doors are like that on the side too as you're walking down this road called life. Even though it's the straight and narrow, those doors are connected with that. You go in and out easy. It's just right there. It's on that road. It's on that road. You can go in there. You can take it with you. And it's not going to add no trouble to you, but you're going to, whatever you seek for, you're going to find. It's the laws of cause and effect. It is. You're going to find it. And you can't blame people when you find bad things. If you're searching for bad things, listen to me. If you're searching for bad things and you find the bad things and your life gets mixed up, like those people at the homeless shelter, that was 3 months. They say it takes 3 months to form a really good habit. 3 months. By 3 months, you'll know. I worked with them for 3 months. So did the church. They did the people in the church the same way, too, who reached out to them. 3 months. They went back to doing what they were. It's like the dog returns to its vomit, a fool repeats its folly. It does. The fool repeats their folly. It disconnected me again. It said reconnect. When I said you can't help everyone, You can't save everyone, but you can sure try. When I did that, it disconnected me. You can still try. You can do all that you can do on your behalf. You can. You can do what you feel led within your spirit, but there comes a point when they got to do for themselves. They got to learn to do for themselves. This message is for someone, probably a whole lot of someone's, because if I've went through it in my life, time and time again, I'm sure there are other people on there, they're going through this also in their life. You try to help people. My mom told me years and years ago, Gina, you can't help everyone. You can't save the world. I can maybe perhaps play a role and help save one person. I can do my part. I can do it. You can do it. It's okay to reach out and help. Okay, it is. I think that if you're a person with a loving heart, a giving spirit, you'll feel it within you. You want to help. It comes natural. You want to help because you want to see the laws of cause and effect, what that help can produce in that person's life. You really do. But you can't save the world. You can't help everyone. You can help people get on the right track, and there are people who turn their life around. They turn it around because they wanted it. They've seen the results, and that strength within them, that want within them, was much stronger than wanting to turn back to that old way of life. They thought, I like this. I like this. I feel so happy now. I feel complete on the inside. I feel like I got a purpose now. I like living this. There's no way I'm going to go back to that mess that I came out of. There's people like that. And if you're one of those people who have turned from a life of drug use, alcoholism, sex, all of it, doing people bad, and you have left that life behind and your life is now blossoming, thank you. You're a good example to others. You are. Whether you realize it or not, you've made a difference in people's lives. And you're an encouragement. You give people something to look forward to. You really, truly do. Because it's not always a sad, sad story. There's people who answer the call and they turn their life around. There is. I'm going to go. It's the law of cause and effect. I was not expecting this to go on like that. I wasn't. So I'm going to go. And who said that? I must be a bad example, but I'm trying. The moment you quit trying is the moment you fail. Don't quit trying. You got to push yourself at times. You got to deny yourself at times. When those desires, those old ways of you want to rise to the surface, let them rise completely out of you and replace them with something good, with new ways. Let that be you. The moment you stop trying is the moment you give up, and you haven't come this far on this road called life to give up. It's the law of cause and effect. It applies to you. It applies to whether you try or you give up. If you give up, if you don't even ever try, you will never ever know. If you don't try and try hard, you'll never know what's up ahead. Sometimes people are only just a few steps away into a good life. When I say a good life, I mean right down in here, that change that occurs. You're just a few steps away from reaching your hand out, opening up that door to a new way of life. And then that door closes behind you. A few steps away. Don't you dare give up when you know you're a few steps away. Just because you stumble and fall, you pick yourself back up off that ground. You pick yourself back up and you keep going. Push away the people who want to pull you back into the wrong direction. Cut ties with them. Cut the ties with them, because that's what they want to do. They want to pull you in the totally opposite direction on which you got pulled out of. They want to pull you back into it. This force out there, there's a bad force out there. If you go back to the mess that you came out of, there's going to be a cause and effect. You may be even worse than beginning, because you'll realize what happened to you when you left. Well, I was doing good, but then I went right back to it. Now I feel awful. I hate how I feel. Now I feel 1,000 times worse. Now it's 1,000 times worse than what it was. Of course it is. You tasted the goodness of God. and then you turn from it, more or less. You got a taste of the goodness of God. You got a taste of what doing right in this world does for you. You got a taste of it, and then you turned away from it. No, don't do that. Please don't do that to yourself. There's good waiting for you, I promise you. There's good waiting for you as long as you continue and push forward. Push against it. Push against it. Don't get off this path anymore. Don't. This road called life, do not listen to me. If you're trying to straighten up your path, your path in life, stay on the straight and narrow. Stay on it. Don't you go wandering off into the wilderness. Don't you go wandering off into the darkness. You stay right here. And the further you get on this road called life, the brighter it's going to be, the more fulfilled you're going to be on the inside. And you'll find out that there'll be people who cross your life who you need in your life. You'll see those doors up ahead start opening when you do the right thing, because it's going to come from a frequency of love right here. Your frequency within your heart, your intentions play an enormous role on earth. Okay, Gina, you went into the spiritual. Well, I did. I'm a spiritual person. Relationships are very important to me. They are. Well, you don't seem like it, Gina. Relationships are very important to me, and I answer the Spirit when the Spirit speaks to me, and I say what I'm given to say. That's right. So you all don't say, I'm trying, I'm about to give up. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. You'll never know unless you continue. It'd be hard for some people. It is. It's really hard because they're not used to it. It's hard and uncomfortable. Not just for you if you're trying to turn from a bad way of life to a good life. It's uncomfortable. It is. And it's uncomfortable for a person who's lived what some would say, a good life. Let's say about the happiness on the inside. It's uncomfortable to put yourself into uncomfortable positions. It doesn't feel comfortable, but you got to push beyond the uncomfortableness. And sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to do it. I'm going. The law of cause and effect applies to you. You did not get a free pass. It's not just confined to the scientific realm. It applies to this whole entire world that we live in. It does. Beyond the grave, the law of cause and effect. Beyond the grave. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of this world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you don't agree with my message, then it wasn't for you. Or perhaps it was for you and you did not want to hear, but you heard it. You cannot unhear it. You cannot unhear what you hear. You can't. You can try to push it out, but you can't unhear it. You can't pull those words out of you, because obviously if you heard it, they got in you. Yeah. Gracious Heavenly Father, may you be with everyone here on this live stream, everyone who listens to this video. May you speak to their hearts. May you fill their hearts with love. May you continually lead and guide them on this road called life. May you straighten up the paths that are in front of us. If there's any crooked paths, may you straighten them. If we have wandered off this road called life, may you go find us at your appointed time and bring us back so that we can continue our walk. May you cleanse us of our sins. May you help us to do the right thing in this lifetime. And may you help us be fully aware of the law, your law of cause and effect, of you reap what you sow, of karma. In the name of precious Jesus, amen. I gotta go, you all. Please give this video a thumbs up and thank you for subscribing. This may sound a little harsh, but it's the truth. It's the truth in a non-harsh way to people. You may not like it, but sometimes you need to hear things that you don't like. You do. If it makes if my words that came out of my mouth that were given to me to say, if it makes a difference in just one person's life, I am very thankful. I am so thankful. I'd like to meet that person. I'd like to hear from that person. I would. We all would. We'd like to hear, well, you know what happened. This is what happened. We'd love to hear back from you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your comments. Love you.